Okay, so I've always said anybody can do their thing. Anybody can make any kind of music they want. Anybody can
Uh,
do whatever they want in the music industry. And I feel like you already know where I'm going with this. Um, you don't know? Okay. So let me ask you something. What the hell is Andre 3000 doing? What, why, where do you, where do you begin to, to be Andre 3000 and put out a wind flute record
he's beefing with
with
Kenny G,
songs
bro.
that are like 13 plus minutes long that make me feel like I'm getting a massage.
Is that your question?
Yeah, I can be
Is your
done for a
question
moment.
literally Andre 3000?
Yeah.
Where do you get off?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Andre 3000. Where do you get off? Let me answer for him. So let me preface this with by saying he is one of my favorite rappers, top five of all time. Probably top. He's top three. It's Tupac, Tretch, Andre 3000, and then DMX Busta Rhymes. But he made that record because he's Andre 3000. He's an eccentric guy. He's out there. He's always been that way. And he doesn't, he had to play by the rules or play by what the playbook of hip hop was with Outkast. But when it comes to him as an artist, I don't really feel that he's ever done that. I don't really feel like he's ever cared about that. I think he's a smart guy. And I think this is all calculated and it's a part of a plan. He knows that people wanted a hip hop record out of him. And I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
Well, what did he name the record? It was some or was it the first song on the record that's something like I swear I wanted to make a hip hop record or something
Yeah, I
like that?
mean, yeah. Look, man, I think it's calculated. And I think it's all part of a master plan of him to put out a solo record that will be mishmash of pop, hip hop, experimental, whatever he wants to do. I just think that he needed to test the waters as to see like who's really going to care if I put out anything, let alone a flute record.
Okay.
I don't have inside information on this, obviously. It's just what I know of, like what I've studied of him as an individual who talks about music and how he approaches his career and the industry. That's what I feel this is. And maybe subconsciously it's more what I hope it is.
Right.
Meaning, motherfucker, you better release a hip hop record. I want to hear you rapping eventually, or singing, or scatting, or whatever the fuck you want to do. But it needs to be more. We need to hear your voice, and that's like one of the things that I've seen some of the comments. Everybody kind of talks about like, well, it's just kind of like a travesty because he's a hip hop artist. What is this shit? And I'm like, well, dude, let him be an artist. Let him do what he wants. And the fact that he wants to play the flute and is brave enough to put it on a record and release it to you fucking assholes to then criticize, give him some kind
Well,
of credit. But
here
I think we've bypassed the idea that one of the most iconic voices in the history of hip hop. And I don't even know if it's said enough. Like the dude is silky smooth. Me being selfish as a fan, but also like appreciating vocals and cadence, and that's why he's one of my favorite rappers of all time. Is just his approach and his cadence and the way he sounds, dude. It's like it cannot be mimicked. So I think people have kind of forgotten the idea. It's like, oh wait, we want a hip hop record out of him, but it's because there's not anybody else like him. Not just because he's from Outkast and they're one of the
so
biggest
okay,
like
okay,
duos
okay.
ever.
So so to put everything you're saying together, you're basically saying he put this out to make people crave a new hip hop record?
Yeah, I think so. I
I
think he
really thought
wanted,
about
like
that.
I said, I think he
Here,
wanted to
here,
test the waters. That's all.
but here's the thing. I say
Like a
like, where does he
survey.
get off? And I say that kind of like it sounds like I'm saying that in a mean way. I'm really not because honestly, for what this is, I listen to it. Like it is for me, like
I made it
it is
5 minutes, man.
it is calming, relaxing music if that's what you want to listen to. For what it is good for what it is supposed to be. However, I didn't know why we're doing this. Anybody can be creative, and if you know have the means to put it out, you have the outlet to do it, and that's fine. But I would like to know what the downloads are or the buy, the how many records he's selling with this thing. But because it seems like there was some hype behind this coming out a little bit, and then everybody was like, "What the hell?" He put out a wind flute album, and then it just kind of died and kind of fell. So I'm just wondering, like, I wonder what the numbers look like.
He placed number one on Billboard's New Age Albums chart with 24,000 album units sold. He
You
breaks,
can do that. You can do that with no words on
yeah,
your
of
album,
course.
just doing the
Yeah,
Wind Flute album. Huh.
yeah. Talk to Kenny G, bro. That's what I said. They're beefing. Atlanta's own rapper and musician Andre 3000 has broken a Billboard record with a song from his new album, New Blue Sun. Instead of rapping as eclectic artist playing various flutes on 8 tracks, according to Billboard, the first song in the album, titled I Swear I Really Wanted to Make a Rap Album, but This Is Literally the Way the Wind Blew Me This Time, has now become the longest running song to ever hit the charts. And the song is even longer than Name, clocking in at 12 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's insane.
With its placement on the Billboard Hot 100 at number 90, Andre beats Tool's Fear Inoculum, which previously held the record at 10 minutes and 21 seconds. Coming in third place in lengthy music is Taylor Swift's All Too Well, Taylor's version, which took the top spot in November 2021. Andre 3000's album also placed number 1 on Billboard's New Age Albums chart with 24,000 sold. So there you go.
I mean, like you said, I guess it does kind of make sense to, you put something out that you actually enjoyed making. Probably it probably was fun to do, and it's just to test the waters and
Was it
just to
though?
see.
Was it fun?
I don't know, maybe for him. I don't know if you like playing an instrument. Who knows?
Speaking of flutes, this is something
Okay,
we didn't cover when it happened. It's like a couple months old now, but did you see all the bullshit? What did you play? Saxophone? Trumpet? What did you do? One of those fucking
I
things.
played trumpet.
Trumpet. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Did you see the story about Lizzo playing James Madison's flute at
No.
like the Library of Congress and people were upset at her? I think for
Uh-uh.
various reasons, but I think the main reason was because she was playing literally James Madison's flute and was twerking at the same time.
Oh my
So
God.
people got upset about that. But dude, it's not as bad as you would imagine. Like when you picture twerking, it's not that. She shook her ass a little bit. The backlash kind of came from what I remember of this from both sides, but I guess like some of the comments were like, what was she doing playing a slave owner's flute? Doesn't she
Oh
get
my
it? And I'm like,
God.
Jesus fucking Christ. Can we just have a moment where we don't do this? Is there
No,
ever a time
absolutely not.
like
Absolutely not. Everyone has a voice now, man.
she's a chubby pop artist playing the flute? Like, it's not that
That's it.
serious.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. Yeah.
And I say chubby in the most
Endearing way.
complimentary way, Lizzo. But like, why can we? Is there ever gonna be a time? Like, when are we gonna get back to a time where we resort to just going, "Oh yeah, that happened," and it doesn't matter. Imagine being a shithead who was like there for that. Like you're a journalist and you go, "Hoo, hoo, hoo," take a video on your phone, of course, because that's all journalism is now. But then
Right.
you go home and you write your little story. And imagine typing out, I'm mad that Lizzo played a flute. Like, imagine that's what your day consisted of.
Right.
That's how you earned your living. That was your day. You, like, I guess my day's no better. I'm bitching about the guy who bitched about Lizzo playing the flute. So maybe I'm worse. But nonetheless, yeah, you didn't see anything about this?
No, I didn't. Was
So
this
I
like
guess
big
there was an
news?
attempt to once again cancel her, like we talked about before with the whole she had the whole background dancer
Yeah.
thing. Whatever.
Making them be weird in strip clubs and stuff.
Is it weird though? You're in a strip club, you're a plus size
Well,
background
they
dancer
were
for
saying she
Lizzo.
was forcing
Is
it
it
to
weird for you
happen.
to be eating anything anywhere
I mean, they were
off
saying that
of anyone?
they were saying that she was forcing them to do things that they didn't want to
Was
do.
she? Did she have a gun to their head?
I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah,
saying
I
what
know.
they said.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I don't know.
I wasn't there either. But I'm gonna guess that if they had said no, she wouldn't have fired them. Which is a lot like the speculation was like, we felt like we feared for our jobs, so we had to do it. It's like, okay, all right.
That's your excuse. Okay.
How bad do you want to be a backup dancer for one of the biggest stars on earth?
Right.
Eat a banana out of butthole. It's okay. So
Yikes.
like
Is she still one of the biggest stars on earth? Like, do you think is her name still as big as it once was?
she played James Madison's flute. I don't see Taylor playing a
No.
goddamn historical instrument from a slave owner, do you? And
No,
she
but
probably is
I'm still
comes
pretty sure
from an
that Taylor Swift is
ancestry
bigger.
of slave owners, and she hasn't even done it. So yeah, I would say Lizzo's still pretty big.
Okay, well, I would still say Taylor Swift's just a little bit bigger. When was the last time Lizzo had a
I
billion
would
dollar tour?
agree. I just wanted to hate on Taylor. So yeah, no, we were talking about the flute. It just made me think of that. And we didn't talk about it at the time because to be honest with you, when I saw it, I didn't really see that anything that negative about it. Rogan and a bunch of people on his podcast talked about it. And I remember thinking, God, that happened a couple months ago. Why are they talking about it now? Is to talk about whatever, but I remember thinking, well, when that happened, I never really saw anything that sort of like, I didn't see a backlash necessarily. I saw a few things on Twitter, which is a negative headspace anyway. And then I just kind of went, oh, okay. Well, I went, oh, that happened. And then I went on with my day.
Right.
But imagine being that though, where you're that person there going, nope, not on my watch. Negative, 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 negative. Send. Like, what the fuck? I know we hate on this, but we're trying to be funny and make each other laugh and like keep it a little bit lighthearted. Like, I don't know that we've ever gotten too seriously into a conversation where you could tell the like, no, we really feel a specific way about this specific thing, and you're not going to change my mind, right?
Right.
And I remember, so just coming from someone who's somewhat of a journalist or in a journalistic sort of environment, I write about MMA still, and like I have my website and I post on there, and then during fights I live tweet. And I remember I posted something about Cowboy. I think it was when he fought. I want to say Yeah, it was Justin Gaethje because that was the fight. And well, let's not go down an MMA rabbit hole, but it was the fight where Gaethje he had him out essentially, and the ref, I can't remember the ref, but the ref didn't stop it, and Gaethje got mad. And I remember tweeting, Gaethje is Cowboy's hero right now, or something like that. Because if that were another fighter, they would have beat that dude's face in until it was stopped, but Gaethje didn't,
Right.
essentially. And he could
Right.
have. And believe me, I don't think Cowboy would have taken offense to what I said because Cowboy would have done it. Cowboy would have kept swinging until they pulled him off. So it was just simple MMA talk, and there was somebody left a comment and was like, "Well, what right do you have to say who?" It was something like along the lines of like, "What right do you have to say who does what and when?" And you're like, it was sarcastically saying, "I'm like, whoa, I'm a Cowboy clearly like defending Cowboy." I'm like, whoa, I'm a bigger Cowboy fan than I am a Gaethje fan. So
Right.
like, and that's what I said. I go, so you're barking up the wrong tree. That's what I said. I just go, but the reason I said that and the reason I even responded was because I linked the link to the fight card, the preview that I did. I was like, if you read this, you'll clearly see that I'm unbiased. I preview the fights. I give
Right.
you information. I don't pick. I don't say who's gonna win. I don't say who should win. I simply tell you what could happen, what has happened in the past. That's it. Of course, the motherfucker didn't respond. I was
Of
like
course
waiting.
not.
Of course not. So my point of bringing this up is like in the moment I can still go, oh, that happened, and I have a sort of a paper trail to back up the idea that no, I'm reacting that way. I'm not reacting in a sort of visceral like told you so or fuck that guy or fuck that girl or fuck this person. Like no, that's not the way it is. I was merely stating like I'm glad that got stopped and I'm glad Justin Gaethje is a good dude, right?
Right.
That's it.
Well, I mean, dude,
So I don't know.
it's what sucks about everything today, really. I mean, in this space, I mean, just with us podcasting, like for us to get the podcast out there to people to listen, social media is where you got to go. Well, you're going to have to trudge through a bunch of negative asshole comments from people who just want to do it just to be an asshole. They don't really care what your opinion is on anything. They just want to turn it to feed their negativity.
Yeah,
That's not
dude,
everyone. That's not everyone. It's just some people, and those are the people you just have to fight through. I remember this was a couple of months ago, and I don't remember what the post was, but I posted a clip on Facebook, a reel, and somebody just posted stupid shits, and that was it.
I
That
remember
was the
that.
comment. I just liked it and moved on.
Yeah. Well, that it was okay. About
Thanks,
what?
I guess. I don't know.
Do we take stupid shits? Because I do all the time. Trust me. Or are we stupid shits? And what? It's just it's
What did we
dude.
say that makes you think that we are? Yeah, I know.
Facebook is a cesspool, dude. It is.
It is.
It.
It really is.
I really get bummed out because I really do. Again, like anything I post on there, like I'll be honest with you. I deleted it. I was about ready to hit send, and I said, you know what? I don't even want to know what's going to happen. And I don't have a lot of friends on Facebook because I just got back onto it, and it's a brand new page. So who knows what reach this would have had? But did you see the Draymond Green suspension
I
from
didn't
the
see why.
Warriors?
Was it a altercation or something? I just seen
He
it
hit a
today, like
guy in the face. I mean,
okay.
he hit a guy. I mean, suckered a guy. You want to see the video?
Yeah, let's
Why
do
not?
it.
But he once again has acted like an idiot because he is an idiot, and he's been suspended indefinitely.
Fields has picked up his
Oh,
third foul.
he hit him in the ear.
Yeah.
You see it?
That's with an elbow, right? Was it the elbow?
It was more like an open hand. He kind of punches like a little bitch. Anyway,
So what's the reasoning for that? Do you,
why did he do it?
yeah.
Because he's a shithead. He's
I'm
an
just
idiot.
wondering, like, I'm just wondering, was there anything leading up to this where they like, kind of scuffling throughout the game or anything with each
I
other? And
mean,
that was just a,
it's they're the two biggest guys on the court. I think naturally yeah, but the NBA has gotten so soft that this is a big deal. This used to happen regularly in the 80s and
right,
90s,
right.
and these guys, they would just return the favor. Unfortunately, in today's NBA, no one returns the favor. There's no one else that the next time this guy's on the court, or the next time he plays that team or anything, no one's going to return the favor. And that's why this is such a big deal. But that's why he gets to act like an idiot. And the problem is, and this is what I was going to post, is that the media, instead of, watched a take today from ESPN. It was Mike Wilbon, Stephen A. Smith, and Mike Greenberg. Mike Wilbon talked about, he started, and I thought he's finally gonna condemn this guy for being a fucking dumbass. And I was hoping he would go, the reason he does this is because no one does it to him. So he starts talking, and then he goes, well, the guy's got a ton of intellect. I've talked to him outside of the locker room, and I wasn't bored, and he's so smart. And that's all these guys ever
That guy,
do is talk
what's
about
that
like,
guy just
yeah,
make you
he's a
think?
fucking goon, but he's so smart and so articulate outside of the. I'm like, who gives a fuck?
What does it
So
have to
he's
do with the
that.
fact that he just sucker punched a guy?
It doesn't. That's my point. It's like, so he's so intelligent in the real world, but yet when he plays a fucking game, he can't get his brain together. Fuck that.
Right.
I wouldn't even care about this if I knew that somebody in the NBA would fucking punch that guy in the face or cheap shot him with an elbow the next time he went into the paint. But it's not going to happen.
But
There
then
are
you
no
but
goons left in the NBA.
then you have guys like LeBron that would fake that whole thing that just happened
Don't Come on,
without even
man.
getting
See,
hit.
no, no, no. You're getting off topic. Don't go into
I'm just
LeBron
saying.
hate.
I'm
Don't.
just saying. Just saying. Anyways, go ahead.
So my point of any of this was that I was going to post that on Facebook, and I was like, I'm not going to contribute to all my posts have been positive. I'm not going to contribute. Like I deleted, I didn't post it. I deleted it, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it today because I knew there would have been someone who would have been like argued for the other side of whatever I was saying, and I was like, I'm not. But that's the other thing too. I'm not going to argue with you on Facebook. I had to
Right.
say this to a buddy of mine. He about something I posted about. I don't remember what it was. And I said, hey, man, the next time I see you, I would love to chat about this. That's where I ended my comment. Like, that was my reply. I'm not going to get in a back and forth on Facebook. So,
Right. What a speaking of scuffles,
yeah, back to Lizzo. I guess the conclusion of this would be like, why do we do this? Why do we care? Why can't it just be a thing that happened?
I
I
mean,
don't, I
it
don't.
just goes back to the fact that everybody has a voice because of all the social media and everything like that. It was once a simpler time when we didn't have to hear everybody's opinion on everything.
Well, why can't it be cool that, like, A, she plays the flute? Who wants to do that? B, she's the big pop star that can play the flute. And C, she played, what was James Madison the second president? Let's fact check
Don't
that.
dude, don't ask me. I'm not good with history.
Fourth. Okay, fourth. Sorry. Yep, I was wrong. Don't know
That
my
makes a
history.
difference. Makes a
Mhm.
difference.
It's about 8 years, right? Or 12. She plays the flute. She's a pop star. She played a president's flute.
So Sum 41 just posted a new music video. And you
Yeah.
said, so was it an interview or where did they talk about what they're doing with this next record.
Sum 41 have finally announced their final album, Heaven and Hell. It's a double album that Derek Whibley describes as early Sum 41 pop punk on the Heaven side and newer, heavier Sum 41 on the Hell side. And it's coming March 15th via Rise. That's the other thing too, man. The fact that they're on Rise Records, that's so huge for that record label. I feel like given the catalog that they already have and they have had in the past, they fit in so well. It's like, wouldn't you just want to be like the elder statesman of that? I don't know. Anyway,
Why? Here's my question. Why change your style for a second side of an album right before you break up? Just because? Or do you think this is kind of like what Andre 3000 was doing? And let's dip our toe in the water on this, see what our reaction is. And if so, maybe we'll keep pushing this thing forward and not break up.
yeah, I don't know. I think with them, it's probably more. This is it. We're in the bonus round. Here we go.
I just feel like I know I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is a terrible time for them to break up. I just feel like the resurgence.
I mean,
that's
I agree.
happening with pop punk music and like all these huge festivals that are happening, even if you just do the festival circuit, like it's. I just feel like it's a terrible time to let it go. I mean, I
I mean,
understand.
they might not want to be pigeonholed into the elder statesman of the festival circuit, man. Some bands are cool with that. Some bands aren't. They might be one of those bands.
Well, let's see how the metal thing goes and be a new band if you want. I don't care, go a new
Well, I don't think
route
it's
if you
anything
want.
new. I think they've always played heavier, or I'm sorry, harder rock. And
But nothing considered
it hasn't
metal,
been any
right?
secret about their love for like metal and that being like an influence on them. And so I don't think there's anything new necessarily.
Okay.
I think it's cool that I think it's cool that they're doing a double album, and I think it's cool that it's like here's two sides of us. We're going out with a bang. You get both sides, that type of thing. Because they could have delayed it, to be honest with you, and been like, we'll put out one record and fine. We'll stay together against our will, and we'll, and they could have like, I guess, capitalized on maybe more sales or more whatever,
Well,
touring money, whatever
that's a
the case may
question
be.
too.
But
Why couldn't they're talking about putting out a double record, meaning they've probably they're recording it all at one time. Why do you think that they would make more money by putting out an album and then putting out another album a while later, or do you think the
no,
double
I mean,
album is
I've
going to
said that, but I don't
be the
know.
same?
I mean, maybe depends on the strategy of it all, but I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I have no idea.
I bet you thought that I had fallen away. It never crossed your mind that there'd be a day. Whoa, I returned to look into your eyes. Don't pray for me. You said there's no hope in forgiving. You're happy to just leave me for the dead. While time has passed, I'm very much the living, and all that's left is to leave you seeing red. So when you think you've got
This is from the harder side because this is Sum 41.
Sounds
all
like
the-
some 41. Yeah, I mean,
And I don't wanna believe that maybe this is the end. I know you're kind of a tease, but is this really pretend? Something tells me
I already like this song better. God, I
This
hate
is-
that.
man,
I'm-
this is definitely a poppier Sum 41.
5 seconds, I already like it better. The last song was cool, but I already like this better. I hate that there are specific bands where I feel this way. Like I like when bands get harder and heavier and whatever. It's cool. But when I know they can be poppy, I just want them to be poppy. It's one of those things, man. Like I think they're one of those bands for me. I like the poppier stuff better. I just do.
wrong. With you, I never can tell. The way you drag me along, the way I put you through hell. Tell me, am I insane? Is this where we belong? Is it pleasure or pain that we're still hanging on? Going out of my head. You know true love is dead, but what you said has got me hanging on. I can't help but walk through your landmines. 10 feet and I'm going out of my mind. I'm not
Dude, that El Camino.
I was thinking the same thing.
Woo! Jesus.
right without you. Is that so?
God, look at that thing.
I can't help but walk through your landmines. I'm bleeding.
That's a throwback, right, to lyrics of songs off probably that album.
Oh, I didn't hear it. What did it say?
No, I'm talking about the El Camino.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
And all I need is a sign. I'm out here and I've been waiting so long.
Yeah, that song's way better. Sorry.
I I think I'm gonna have to get a hold of both these records, or if you want to call it two records, whatever. But
Yeah, I mean, I'd
I'm a
like to
fan of
listen
all of
to
this.
it, but I just for me they're just I don't they're better poppy to me, man. I think they do the heavies, like I think they're capable of doing the harder stuff, but like I just
Yeah. So okay,
so am I still waiting? Nah,
go
that's
go.
not that heavy,
No,
but
what about? Oh man, dude, they had so many freaking hits. Go
yeah,
back
it's
up to
crazy.
Fat Lip. Hanging out, drinking in the back of El
Oh yeah,
Camino.
okay, okay,
Yeah, you know
okay,
what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wait, we talked about this. Have you ever seen this? Him
I
doing
don't think so.
Faint with Linkin
That was
Park?
only a couple years ago. No, I don't think so. Let's listen to it.
Dude, I remember bringing this up on the
We have a very, very special guest with us tonight.
or they did it with Mike Shinoda, sorry.
Shinoda! Jump! I am a little bit of loneliness, a little bit of disregard, handful of complaints that I can't help the fact that everyone can see these.
Can I tell you one of the other things I've always appreciated about them is that they've never taken themselves too seriously.
Right.
Like look at that fucking backdrop.
That's so dope.
They've never and believe me they could have because they sold a bunch of records, they got really popular, they were mainstream. They easily and maybe the lead singer did, and that's why he went down a fucking downward spiral of alcoholism to where he
Right.
almost died. Maybe he did really take it himself too seriously. But, you know, they very easily could have, and they didn't. And I always appreciate when bands like this don't do that. And I get it, they're a pop punk band, you know, what's to be taken seriously? Of like, well, fuck you, because they've sold more records than you and they've written more hits than you. So they very easily could be cunts about all of this stuff, you know?
True. Yeah.
I don't know them as people, but I'm just saying when I see this, like if I went to a show and I saw this, I go, oh, I'm going to have fun. I'm not going to have to guess what's going to happen. I'm not going to have to feel like I don't belong. Like this is going to be fun.
Right.
You know, now obviously the big blown up skeleton flicking people off isn't for everyone, but it's more inviting than a band that's up there, you know, droning their way through songs and making you feel like they don't care about you as an audience member. You
Right.
know, I
Are
don't
you
know.
kind of surprised that they did a backdrop like that at a big festival like that? I
No,
just feel
I
like
love it. I think it's great.
I just
Well,
feel
they're
like at a
playing
big
during the
festival.
day.
Good point.
Nighttime, I feel like it would have been a little bit different, but yeah, during the day. But this is probably a terrible slot for them, by the way, too. Maybe that's
Probably.
why they don't want to do festivals. Like, hey,
Either way, dude.
we're
There's a
not going to
lot of
be the
people to
elder
be there.
statesmen that play at 4 at these festivals, fuckers. We're going to fucking go headline or headline. Like, what the fuck are you doing to us?
What I want you to want, what I want you to feel. And it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. Let go, watching you turn your
I just want you to hear his vocals on this chorus.
back like you always do. Face away and pretending I'm not. I'll be here cause you're all that I got. I can't feel the way I did before. So turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. Time won't tell this damage anymore. So turn your back on me. I won't be ignored.
Dude, he fucking rocked that shit,
He
man.
did. Like
That sounded good.
The beginning of that almost had a Chester feel
It
to
had
it.
a little bit of it, man.
Yeah. Man,
I would
pretty-
never want to sing that, especially live.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was pretty
Yeah.
good.
I'm impressed.
Anyway, Sum 41. Stick around. I think that's the whole point of us talking about this. It's like,
Yes,
why are you
please,
breaking up?
please,
Just
please stick
fucking
around.
just stick around.
All right.
Speaking of sticking around, we don't have to spend too much time on this, but did you hear about Paramore? I guess they announced that they essentially have no more label obligations. They've done all the touring, the records have come out, and now they don't know what their future holds. This went viral, or this was trending. That's why. So now that Paramore has spent the year touring behind This Is Why and making sure to take better care of themselves while they're at it, chapter of the band's career has come to a close. They've now fulfilled all label obligations and are effectively free agents. As for the future of Paramore, all three members agreed that there's a level of uncertainty. Well, then why say anything at all?
Right.
That's how I feel.
Unless you just want to be in the news, you want the speculation to happen.
Well, that's kind of been the drama of this band in the first place, is because I think at this point people just go, well, it's Haley, and then
Right.
there's
That's
everybody
kind of what I was
else,
going to say is
whoever
like,
else is like in the band. But
right.
fuck
Yeah.
that, man. I say fuck that. I hate that. I hated that with No Doubt too. You know, like No Doubt eventually got to a point where it was just Gwen, and then the dudes didn't matter anymore. And the funny thing is those dudes stuck around. Paramore has gone through so many goddamn members at this point. I don't even know. I don't even know who's in the band.
Right.
I know some guys left like a year ago that were original guys. I know some guys like came back and left, and there was another guy. I have no idea. I can't keep up
Do
with
you,
this
do
shit.
you, do you think that it's because Haley's hard to work with? Like, what do you think the reasoning is for someone?
I don't think she's hard to work with. I think she's become. I think they've become victims to the label, and I think the label thought that it's the Haley show and not Paramore. Have we
Right.
ever played them playing Summer Sonic in 2009?
I
Do you
don't
know
think
what
so.
Summer Sonic is?
I've heard of it.
So Summer Sonic is a music, like if I ever played this festival, I'd shit my pants, and then if I dropped dead after we played, I'd be a happy man, because it's literally the most amount of people who just fucking love music in one place. And this, like, I want to play you from 2009, but like so they were like really early in the day, because in 2009 they hadn't really like blown up yet. But I remember
Really? What time? Wasn't Misery Business like 07 or so?
yeah, but they hadn't. So they were on the verge. They were on the cusp,
Okay.
essentially.
Okay.
I remember I watched videos of like Hoobastank playing this. They were still like when it was light outside, but there were so many people. Anyway, just watch.
It's a matter of time before we all unknown. When I thought he was mine, she caught him by the mouth. I waited 8 long months, she finally set him free. I told him I couldn't lie, he was the only one for me. 2 weeks and we had caught on fire. She got it out from me, but I went the biggest small. So no!
It's in Tokyo, by the way.
Whoa, I had a mix to break, but I got him and I want him that way. 7 days to shit a break. Stealing all away from you now. 'Cause it feels so good. 'Cause I got him and I want him now. That's because I didn't know you would. Gotta just
Look at the size of the place they're in. That stadium. Like, it's
There's
fucking
Jesus, it's
enormous.
huge. What? Okay.
Huge.
I may have asked you this before, and I don't remember what the language barrier. What? How does that work with this?
I don't know. I don't see any like. Yeah, I don't know.
Like I heard just now when she moved the mic to the crowd to sing something, like a lot of the crowd was able to sing it, but I don't. Most of the people can't though, right?
Well, they can. They can do what they want. Japan's pretty progressive though, and if you've ever, do you know how big Story is in Japan?
I've heard good things.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah, this type of music too. Like, there's like a niche thing over there with this type of like. I don't want to say emo, but I'll say emo. Like emo, sort of like scene music over there really translates well. And by the
Okay.
way, Story, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be insulting by calling you any of these things. I don't know what you identify as anymore, but nonetheless, it's like that. But it really does translate well, because the Hoobastank one's even crazier because they're on the bigger stage. They're like later in the day, and
Is
like
Hoobastank
there's a
still
point
band? Like, if they put
that
anything out
I
recently,
have no idea. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look it up and see.
But there's like a point where like they're playing the song, and the crowd just starts their own chant. Like it wasn't started by the singer or anything. It was just sort of, let's just start this. So many.
dedicate. I sacrifice my everything for just a second's worth of how my story's ending. But I wish I could know the directions that I take and all the choices that I make.
You see how like the top is filled out now and shit?
Yeah.
So nuts. All right, let's
Does he remind you of Rob McElhenney any?
a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. His name is Rob, or no, Doug Rob, right? What? Start a chant. Yeah, the language barrier does not matter.
Is that festival still going on?
Holy shit. Kendrick Lamar, Liam Gallagher, Kid Leroy. I
Liam
love this
Gallagher's
song.
doing his own thing.
Yeah, well, what is he not?
I don't think I knew that.
I love this song.
I do the thing I told you that I never would have told you even when I knew I never could, I know that I found
Yep.
I've never known what Kid Leroy looks like, and I never in 100 million years would have said that's what he looks like.
He didn't used to. He, believe me, if you had seen what he used to look like, you would have been like, oh wow, that's a
It's
pop
like
star,
freaking.
huh?
It's like Sage Northcutt. rapping.
Well, maybe giving him too much credit, but all right.
Nobody else as good as you. I need you to. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I can't drown, wake up, I'm wasted. I realize the time, man, I'm wasted. I feel like you can't feel the way I feel. I'll be fucked up.
It's the Post Malone influence, man.
It's like Post Malone meets MGK.
Yeah, there's a little bit of both vibes there.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think more, yeah, I mean, but all these guys, like, they've kind of tapped into this thing. I call it the white guy hip hop thing. And I say that, like, a lot of times I say it, sometimes I probably sound like a hater, and I'm really not trying to be. But it really is like they've tapped into this thing where it's like young kids think it's cool. But I know like older hip hop enthusiasts are like, okay, cut it out. Cut it out, white guy. Like I know there's just like a whole level of like disconnect as far as like there's like a generational gap. I, being older, I like it. Like I like the song. When I watch this, I'm like, yeah, okay, it's fine. I love the song.
I wonder if eventually they'll come up with some kind of subset genre of it, just like new metal or something like that they'll call this whatever whatever they've tapped into.
I don't think it has a name, but I honestly think yeah, I don't think it has a name, but I honestly think they've already done that. And I think Post Malone was one of the main contributors to that. I think MGK is a main contributor, like you said. I think it's just this thing. I think he's more pop. Like we listened to one of his songs a couple episodes back, and it was like more hip hop, but at the same time, I don't know, man. It all kind of fits into the same bubble for me, you know?
Yeah.
Blur played Summer Sonic
What the
2023.
hell?
Song 2. Ooh, let's watch that.
How is did they get back together for this, or are they still?
Well,
there's no way they're still a band off.
Let me just say this: they could play this song 8 times at any festival everywhere, and they'll be okay. They could just like they need like 5 minutes in between, maybe song 2 and song 5. Like people go, "What are we watching right now?" Oh yeah, it's Blur, and then they go, "Woohoo!" See.
sound good.
It's getting old.
Just
Getting
let the
old,
people do
Bubba.
it. Just let the people do it.
Yes.
How much coke is he on?
Oh, he's coked out of
Dude,
his. He's wearing a
he's-
sweatsuit.
And he's
For fuck's
sweating
sake.
balls.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I'm sure it's hot,
Well, this was summer in Japan,
dude,
so
but still, I mean,
I think everyone on stage is lit. It's just the sloppiest. Like that song's sloppy, even recorded,
yeah.
but that's like a sloppier live version of a sloppy song. Anyway, cool. Let's try this one.
Get ready for Loserville 2024, live and losing across North America, starring the ultimate losers, Limp Bizkit, Bones, featuring Eddie Baker and Xavier Wolf, with performances by Nate No Face and Corey Feldman, and your host Riff Raff. Come and lose with us at Loserville 2024.
Do you know how many people I've had text me, been like, "We're going to Limp Bizkit, right?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. I'm a dad. But I want to."
I would love to. You know, Corey Feldman was just in St. Peter's like a couple
No, he
months
wasn't.
ago, right? Yes, he was. He played Diamond Music
what?
Hall. He
Oh,
played
you know
Diamond
what?
Music
I saw
Hall.
that. I saw that. Yeah, yeah, I remember seeing that. Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny. I should have gone to that. I'm pissed I missed that.
Well, it's in St. Peter's. We all know how you like to stay away from there if possible.
Try to.
Before time for you.